Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I am glad you're here. First off, I just want to say thank you for all the channel members. Thank you all. I want to say thank you to anyone who subscribes to the channel, who comes in and checks out the knife, the EDC content. Thank you. And I want to say thank you for anyone who just comes in to check out my knife, my EDC content. So today is going to be a run through of 10 really good EDC fixed blade knives. This little knife here, which for some reason I'm having trouble getting out, is not on the list, but it is an absolute fantastic little pocket dropper. This one's got a little custom flare added to it with some Joe Isabella custom carbon fiber scales, but this is the TwoSun TS-150. This is the little fixed blade knife that started me off on my path down hunting for fixed blade excellence, which I've yet to find, but I still have a hell of a time enjoy looking for it. So I was going to talk about 10 killer fixed blades that have been in my pocket lately, whether I use them as an enhancement to my everyday carry or whether I use them as my primary EDC knife. I wanted to go through 10 today with you guys. Starting out with the Aries EDC little Petal. This is a great little tool steel knife, acid wash blade. It has G10 glow bolster here on the scale, and then it's got G10 divider or G10 spacer followed by some glow carbon fiber on the scale, which is just gorgeous. When I turn the lights off, this thing lights up like nobody's business. As a matter of fact, let's give you a quick example. If I can turn off a couple of these lights. So that is the Aries EDC Petal with glow carbon fiber and G10 bolsters that glow, that are just badass. It's a killer little knife. It is going to fall in that what I would consider a small knife category, but it's very slicey. Great for opening packages, great for cutting into packaging, great for your cuts that you need. It's got a great little snake knot on the end of it that makes it very easy to hold on to. It's a 3-finger knife in my hand, 4-finger on the little tail. This little guy is going to weigh in right at 5 inches. If you take it from the tail, you're at 6 1/4. Beautiful little specimen made by Scott over at Aries EDC. This one was gifted to me by brother Paul. Just a killer knife, one of my favorites. I've got a deep concealment carry clip on it that fits it perfectly, and I just love carrying it in my back pocket. So moving on, we come to a knife that's growing on me more and more. This is the StraightLine knives, a company started by one of the MKM, Maniago knife makers, designers, and this is the Ernie. The Ernie is one of 2 little knives that they launched. They launched an Alley, which is more of a Warncliffe, and they launched this Ernie, which I got them both sent to me after I bought one. Not sure which one I wanted because I wanted to review them both. I actually thought I was going to lean towards the Warncliffe when I bought them. When this one came in, the actual angle of the blade, the way it cuts, it is an absolute laser beam. It fit my hand, even though they're exactly the same size knife. I just preferred this one. I ended up sending the other one back. It was a surprise, but it's a knife that either one of them, I highly recommend. They're great knives. This little guy is 6 inches. It's got roughly a 2 3/4 inch blade, 3 1/4 inch handle, with a straight up 2 3/4 inch cutting area. Comes with this great sheath, gives you a couple of different positions. I would never carry it like that, but you can mount it like that on your belt. I mount it down like that, drop it in my pocket, put the knife in it like so. Perfect pocket dropper. fantastic little knife, the StraightLine knives, made in Italy, Ernie. So moving on, we come to another killer knife by Lucky Dog Knives that is made by a custom knife maker in Canada, David Mary Customs. So it's kind of collaboration between Lucky Dog Knife Company, the designer, and the maker who makes these in small batches in Canada. But this little guy is the RanchDog. It is a short little spay blade type knife in 3V that is absolutely slicey. It's absolutely a work knife. 3Vs, great steel for both strength, good edge retention, but really good strength. So this is going to be a really strong outdoor knife should you need it to be. I love the handles. It comes with a couple of different choices. You could have chosen G10 handles, could have chosen micarta. This is the Wingay with the Bacata wood, I believe, with the brass pin, 3V blade steel, nice jimping for either your thumb or for your finger. This little guy is also, if I'm not mistaken, right at 6 inches. Yep, with a right under 2 3/4 inch blade and right over 3 1/4 inch handle. Great little knife, Kydex sheath, also sporting a deep concealment carry slip or clip. Does have a little rattle, but it has great retention. Rattle doesn't bother me at all. Great little knife. This is the Lucky Dog Guard Dog. Moving on, we come to the Big Idea Design Company Lookout. This little knife is an absolute sweet little knife. It has titanium handles, S35VN blade, feels great under a stone, sharpened up fantastically well. It's a small little knife. This one's OEM by Best Tech. However, they do make this knife here in the US. There's a US version of this knife as well, the Lookout, that's made in Chattanooga, Tennessee. This little guy's right at 6 1/8 inches with about right under 2 3/4 inch blade, about a 3 1/2 inch handle, but small, slicey, get it done little EDC fixed blade. I can carry this as a primary. I can carry this as a backup. It is an absolute laser beam. I love the way they designed the sheath. This knife comes with both a right hand and a left-handed sheath, and all you have to do is take this titanium clip off and you can put it on either one of the sheaths. But what makes it so unique is it mounts in the center of the sheath and it allows it to carry deeper in the pocket. So this knife will actually carry to right here. Your thumb doesn't get in the way when you're deploying the knife. Just really ingenious on the carrying method. Really nice little package. This is the Big Idea Design Company Lookout. Moving along, we come to another little letter opening, box opening, paracord slicing, get it done knife. And this is more of an enhancement knife. I wouldn't necessarily want this as my primary carry because it's a little bit more on that street scalpel side. Maybe a little bit more of a daintier knife, but don't let that fool you and its sharpness. This is crew wear. I also have one of these in MagnaCut. You've got this nice little Harpoon blade with a very neutral handle. These are made in the US. Fantastic little knife. Fits my hand great, fits in my pocket great. They come with a Kydex sheath. I pair it with a Oak City leather pocket dropper like this right here, and this is what this one rides in, and it's just a fantastic little EDC carry. Just a scalpel, super sharp, sharp as you'd ever want. Comes in at 5 1/2 inches with only about 2 1/4 inch blade, a little bit over 2 1/4 inch blade, 2 1/4 inch cutting area. You've got an inside grip of about 3 1/8 right inside of here. You don't have any lanyard tie off, but you don't really need one because again, this is just a little slicer. This is the Denney Apprentice, and this is the Gen 2. So moving on, we come to a killer little knife that's also OEM by Best Tech. This is offered up by Griffin Company. This is the Griffin Company Scout 2.5. The Scout 2.5 is a fantastic little knife. This one has carbon fiber handles. It's got very ergonomical grip. They started, I think, their Scout mission with this knife and the Scout Medic. And then they've started doing some folders with the same basic profile, the same blade shape, but it's just very ergonomical. It's very slicey. It is a very just nice EDC package. This would work as a primary carry for me. It's big enough to be a primary carry. It's got thick enough tang. It's S35 VN, and it's going to clock in right at 6.5 inches. You do have a lanyard hole if you need a lanyard. 2 3/4 inch blade with about 2 3/4 inch cutting area right in there, 2 3/4 inches, and just a very comfortable handle. They offer it with different scales. I've got some micarta scales for it. However, it fits the sheath best with the scales that it's shipped with, so I keep it with this particular sheath, with these particular scales, the carbon fiber. But this is the Scout 2.5 by the Griffin Company. A great EDC fixed blade. Moving on, we come to probably one of the biggest surprises I've picked up this year. And I actually bought this at Amazon after a buddy sent me a knife to give away on a Friday Night Flicks that was the D2 version, the full-size version of this Kizer Harpoon. This is the mini Kizer Harpoon. This is a knife that is 3V steel. It's a collaboration with Maverick Design Company or Maverick Knife Company. It has probably got one of the sliciest edges and one of the pokiest tips of any of my EDC fixed blades. I've been so impressed with it. This particular one, you can get this in either micarta handles with a stone-washed blade, or you can get it with the PEI/Ultim with a black wash blade. The black wash blade has a little texture on it, but the grip of this knife is fantastic. You got this nice harpoon that your thumb just falls naturally in. It's a great cutter. It's 3V, so it's going to be up to the challenge. It's going to be a tougher steel. Still got a very dainty point, and it's a thinner blade, so I wouldn't use it to pry or anything like that. But if we're using it as an EDC cutter, I think it's an absolute home run. Probably my favorite fixed blade from Kizer that I've experienced. Right at 6.5 inches. 3-inch blade. 3.5 inch handle. You got a 3-inch cutting area. Nice natural choil built into it. Comes in right around $68, $69. I got this on Amazon. And this is the Kizer Mini Harpoon in 3V. Moving on, we come to a Viper knives this is the Meer 2 that was actually designed by the gentleman that started StraightLine Knives. The Meer 2 is a knife I picked up at White Mountain Knife Company because I really like the look of it. It's a very minimalistic knife. It is a micarta handle, M390, straight, flat ground, super slicey, agile little knife with a very unique sheath again. Again, Viper Knives does their pocket dropper sheaths very well. This one, you can simply lock it down. I drop it in my pocket, stick the knife in, and carry it. This is by all means EDC knife that would be a replacement for a folder if you needed it to be. It could also be an enhancement because it is an easy carry. I typically carry it in my back pocket, but it could easily be carried in your right pocket and it could be your primary carry. It clocks in right at 6 3/4 inches with a 3.5 inch blade, a roughly 4-inch handle, and then your inside dimension is going to be right at 4 1/8 with a cutting area of 2 3/4. You've got a very generous choil here. You've got the maker's mark of the gentleman who designed it, M390, and then the branding that says Viper Knives Meer 2. Great little knife, great little sheath, made in Italy again, like the StraightLine. just great pocket dropper. One of my faves. I'm a huge fan. That is the Viper Knives Meer 2. Moving on, we come to one of my fixed blade grills. This is my Boker AK1. The AK1 is a collaboration with Daily Customs, I believe, or Daily Customs, something like that. I forget. There's several designers that worked on this knife, Boker being the one who makes it. Daily Carry Concept, something like that. Really neat little knife. They make this knife in a couple of different blade shapes. This one is made in Solingen, Germany. It is an RWL 34. It is as slicey as you would ever want. It carries like a dream because it's got a really nice leather sheath. This is made in Germany too. The sheath houses the knife. You've got an ulti-clip. You can put it in your front pocket, put it in your back pocket, however you want to carry it, and then it deploys just that easily. No jimping on the knife, but it does have this hidden lanyard tube area where if you take the scale off, you can flip around this lanyard, little fob, so to speak, and then you've got a little lanyard. If you don't want the lanyard, you can flip it inside out. It's kind of like a puzzle piece. Really cool, neat design, something I wasn't expecting, but I find it very cool. This comes in right at 6 3/4 inches with a little bit over 3 1/8 inch blade and about a 3 3/4 inch area from the back to the handle. Again, if I had that little lanyard tube out, you could put a lanyard on it, have a tail, have it be a little bit longer. But I think it's a great EDC style knife. Great for everyday carry, great for primary carry should you need it to be, or an enhancement. And that's the Boker AK1. Finally, we've got a banger. This is my USA made Axial knives, Alpine, and this one is in the Tanto. The Alpine is a Magna Cut G10, cuts through paper like butter. Took an amazing edge, as you can see. But the grip, the way that the choil integrates into the handle, and the handle just sucks into your hand, makes me really like this knife. I'm a huge fan of Axial knives. They sent me this to check out. They had sent me a Warncliffe that I really liked. This Tanto is just fantastic. It's a great knife. It's got very aggressive posture, Slurpee saver, but also a very good EDC knife. It's going to be a little bit bigger than the Boker at about 7 inches, right under 7 inches. It's going to have a 3 1/4 inch blade with roughly a little over 3 1/2 inch here. You've got a cutting area of 2/8, of a little bit over 3 1/4. Take that front edge and the back edge. Great little knife. This is the Axial Alpine. So you got the Axial Alpine. You've got the Boker AK1. The Viper Meer 2. Kizer Harpoon. Griffin Co Scout 2.5. Denney Apprentice Gen 2. Big Idea Design Company Lookout. You got the Lucky Dog, RanchDog. You've got the StraightLine knives, Ernie. And you've got the Aries EDC little Petal. So guys, those are 10 EDC knives that I'm totally digging. Love those guys. Also a huge fan of my little custom TwoSun TS-150, the knife that started it all for me. Great little knife you can usually pick up at White Mountain Knives or on eBay for well under 100 bucks. Guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you like my EDC content. If you're so inclined and you haven't had a chance yet, Hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notification icon so you know when I have videos come out. But most importantly, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your hearts and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.